With the ongoing actors strike, it made me wonder, how much money did the original Power Rangers cast make? Saban brought Power Rangers to the United States in 1993 and sold it to Disney in 2001 for $5.3 billion. Despite the franchise being worth billions, the original cast was only paid $600 per week.
Welcome to Nice Finance. If you're reading the title, you already know what this video is about.
We wanted to stand up for ourselves because we felt like we were being bullied and we felt like we deserved more and that we had earned the right to be treated like professional actors.
Yeah, that's crazy because for me, again, I learned from all these guys because I literally knew nothing. I was still in high school. I literally dropped out of high school to take the job. So while he's talking about lead roles, 40 episodes, I knew none of that. All I was thinking was, I'm gonna be a superhero on TV. Like, that was, wow.
Who doesn't want to do that, right?
Right,
Everybody wants to be a superhero.
Yeah.
Like, yo. So we did the show. The show became a huge success.
Yep.
Within the first week, they told us, congratulations, guys.
Your show is #1 in the world.
#1, and then we're sitting down looking at each other like, we're making that much money on the show.
Bro, we were broke.
It was a non-union contract, so we weren't making a lot of money. It's not like we could buy brand new cars. I think we were driving our beaters for a long time.
Yep.
Eventually, in the second season, we were offered a contract to do a commercial, and with this commercial, we would get these free Suzuki Sidekicks.
Which were recalled later because they would flip over on their sides.
Yeah.
They're like, go ahead, you can have that.
Exactly, you
Go
can have
kill
this
yourself.
car for doing this commercial. Now, as a SAG actor on a commercial, you might make anywhere from $30,000 to $45,000 for a SAG commercial Exhibit A.
That's just payment. That's not
that's
the
just made
residuals.
$1 billion in the first season. $1 billion. You know, $1 billion is $999 million. That's $1 billion. $999 million?
If you spent every day on a street corner handing out a $1 bill, you could not pass out $1 billion in your lifetime.
You would expect that after all of the success of the first season that we would get a big bump in the second season, but we did not. We couldn't afford a house. We still couldn't really afford a car.
The crew too.
You know, the crew as well. It was like
it was unfair.
The film takes months. I mean, like you're looking at 6 months, 8 months, a year to create this. So
from beginning to end.
From beginning to end. I can just tell you this: the initial movie that we were going to shoot was under $20,000. How many days we have to work? And then each additional movie was like a bump of maybe $6,000, if that. It was really unfair. So
how are we supposed to do that?
It was ridiculous. It was like, okay, well, we're no longer the amateurs that we were when you first picked us up, before we had any name, before we had anything. Now we've created this show. We have a name for ourselves. We continue to create great product, and it's just not fair. Yeah. The least it should be is it should be union. We're not asking to be, millionaires. We're not saying, hey, you got to treat us special, but treat us like a professional actor, which is what we are at this point with 80 episodes under our belt.
Yeah, I mean, you look at Seinfeld, those guys were making $13 million and they shot 13 episodes a year.
That's not what we're asking for.
And their shows didn't have our popularity.
Yeah, and we're not asking for anything like that. We'll just make it union. So it's fair. And we ended up going through the worst case scenario. However, I can say this. Here we are.
That's right.
Almost 30 years later.
So I saw this on the other app that we shall not name, and I'm floored by this. Sorry to ruin your childhood, but 30 years ago, the Power Ranger TV show launched. The actors were paid $600 a week with $0 in residuals from the reruns. Like, what? They worked 12-hour shifts 6 days a week to entertain you as a kid, and the owners made billions. I repeat, they made billions, and the actors were broke. They had all kind of toys. I had these toys. This toy had a little flip switch on the back. When you flip it, it went to their face. And when you flipped it back, it went to them morphing. Like, that was why. Effers had lunch boxes, and you mean to tell me they were only paying them $600 a week? $600 for 12-hour days? And then to take it a step further, your girl Amy Jo Johnson, the Pink Ranger, she was talking about how the working conditions was so bad that when she was making the Power Ranger movie or whatever, the first one, whatever, with your boy Ivan, the work condition was so bad, she was up on like this little lift thing and the machine started smoking, so she almost caught fire trying to make a movie for us. And she was still only getting paid $600 a week. And then your boy Jason Austin, the one who played the original Red Ranger, he came out to the Huffington Post time or something. I ended up sleeping out of my Jeep for a while with my dog. With the company making all that money, you was sleeping in the car with your dog? Oh man, What a way to go out. The man said we worked around the damn clock. We work long, hard hours on a non-union show. And we'll just never be paid what we should have been paid. The fact of the matter is, this is why these actors are on strike and these writers. These people sitting behind a desk, not doing nothing, not writing no script, not out here acting. They making all the money, and no one understands why. Imagine somebody taking your face and making money off of it, and not giving you a dime. So before you get mad and talk about something that these actors just want to make more money, best believe, unless you were part of that lucky 1% of actors who got into the game before all this bad stuff started to happen, unless you wanted them, get somebody else to do it because you're not making no money. Man, imagine being a $1 billion show and you only getting paid $600 a week.
Sorry to ruin your childhood, but 30 years ago, the Power Rangers TV show was launched and the actors made a whopping $600 a week with $0 in residuals for the reruns. They worked 12-hour shifts, 6 days a week to entertain you as a child, and the owners made billions and the actors are broke. But consciously, that type of money 30 years ago would have been a lot of money. Man, them execs made billions of dollars off the labor of them actors. We call that po pimping. We call that hoe pimping. We call that billionaire show pimping. Well, facts over feelings, right? The show and its toy line became a huge phenomenon, and by 1995, sales of the Power Rangers product made over $1 billion a year. Meanwhile, Power Rangers actors were severely underpaid. The non-royalties and residuals and subjected to strenuous work environment under hazardous conditions. Oh, how hazardous, you ask? Amy Jo Johnson, who played Kimberly, the Pink Power Ranger, was almost set on fire during the making of Power Rangers, the movie in 1995, after a pyrotechnic stunt went wrong on a low-budget set. It was this high machine. All of a sudden, it started smoking, Johnson explained last year. I could see smoke out of the corner of my eyes. I was happening. Listen, then the Red Power Ranger? Oh, man. In a 2014 interview, Austin St. John, the Red Power Ranger, said we weren't paid at all. We weren't paid a lot at all. I could have worked in the window at McDonald's and probably made the same money in the first season. It was disappointing. It was frustrating. It made a lot of us angry. Just had absolutely zero conscientious about making billions using our faces because it was his idea and he owned it. I don't want to put words in his mouth, but he could not have cared less about making all that money because he had his ownership and the hell with everybody else who helped him make that money. And that's the way it's always been. And that's the reason why them folks is really protesting right now when it comes to them actors and them strikers, because how is you making all this money off my likeness? You see what I'm saying? I identified with those Power Rangers. I knew their faces. I knew their likeness, their image. They didn't get paid off none of that. Oh, po pimping, billionaire show pimping, hoe pimping for real, man. Are you surprised, though, that this built off exploitation? I'm not. And that's on capitalism. Education is elevation.
If you enjoy the content, please consider subscribing, sharing the video, and giving it a thumbs up. Until next time.